Alright guys, so we're back with part 7 of the Forgotten Epics series, and in this video I'm going to be sharing you guys 2 cookies actually that has pretty much been forgotten, and they have honestly started off this trend of a new type of comp, especially utilizing a different topping that was not solid almond, swift chocolate, or Syrian raspberry, and that is going to be mala sauce as well as Twizzly Gummy. So if you guys remember these two, they have been released together. Twizzly as one of the event gacha cookies, as well as mala sauce, who was the feature gacha during that time, and both of them were greatly used once they were released. They had this special unique ability where mala sauce was able to increase the crit percentage of 2 allies with the highest crit percentage. Okay, and then it was actually better than sparkling at the time, but without the buff. And on top of that, there was a unique burn effect that mala sauce was able to do. And on top of that, Twizzly was straight up just a cookie that utilized only crit. It was more towards just full on adding that crit percentage and utilizing the damage boost that you were able to get from crit percent. All right, so once the crit percentage was high enough and there was 100% crit or near 100% crit, Twizzly Gummy would do so much more damage. And she was one of those unique cookies that actually utilized it. And then of course after that, cream puff and other cookies like that has been added, and crit percentage in general just really became something that a lot of people utilized after the release of these 2 cookies. All right, so why have they been forgotten? I mean, mala sauce in general, there has been some cons where mala sauce came back against the Living Abyss. However, now that there's just better cookies like espresso right now that is able to deal a ton of damage, squidding, cherry blossom, there's just a lot of better comps that we utilize than mala sauce, that it's just better to not use mala sauce inside of your team and just use something else like a very good DPS. All right, and the reason why mala sauce never really shined was because of the lack of damage from the burn, as well as the crit percentage was good, but it was not significant enough because it was only to 2 cookies, right? If it was something to like all of the cookies or something like that for 20%, then it would have been a huge difference. Because if you guys look at sparkling right now, with sparkling's skill being boosted and buffed, it's 25% crit percentage to every single cookie in your team. So it was just not worth using someone like mala sauce to increase the crit percentage for 2 cookies. And then of course full crit comp did work out when there was a lot of squishy teams. However, now that there's just so much tanky teams with Financier, Wallberry, also Brute, Purple Yam, it's just not worth using a full-on crit team where you'll pretty much die off after you use your entire skill. It is better to go with a sustainable team and focus on some extra crit with the toppings as well as the scythe, in order to have that kind of 50% ratio that we talk about inside of something like Genshin Impact, where you have that 50%, and then when that 50% is hit, you'll utilize the almost 200% extra crit damage that you're able to get from the landmark as well as the lavatory. All right, and the reason why Twizzly Gummy kind of fell off was because of the amount of damage that she was able to do. Her damage is actually not a burst damage, but a consistent damage. And because of that, there was a lot of ways to just kind of out heal the amount of damage you were being taken, as well as the zap was a very important and a very new thing for a cookie. However, with the release of Dark Cacao, Twizzly Gummy just kind of fell off the meta, especially just because now there's Dark Cacao to deal the zap and neutralize the shield from someone like Pure Vanilla and Eclair. Alright, so there was no real reason to use Twizzly Gummy. The only time she was actually brought back into some comp was on 14-22 for some of the players who did not have Dark Cacao. Twizzly Gummy was used, but it was just not worth leveling up Twizzly Gummy compared to some other DPSs that we have now. Especially if you guys are a new player, Captain Caviar, Squidding, Espresso, Rye, Vampire are just so much better and put so much more value, and especially Black Pearl if you have Black Pearl. So the duo who was brought into the game alongside the Super Mayhem and the story behind it have now been forgotten, and hopefully once again, like all the other epic cookies that has been forgotten, maybe once again if they get a magic candy, they can be brought back into the meta, because they were once inside of the meta with the crit comp and Twizzly even without a crit comp. So hopefully we do see something interesting happening with those two. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. What kind of skill would you give Molosauce? What kind of skill would you give Twizzly with the magic candy? And let me know if you guys would add any other cookies into the list below for this Forgotten Epic series. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.